Good evening. It's Thursday, the 9th of February, and it's time for the news on RIK2. President Anastasiades and Turkish Cypriot leader Mustafa Akinci had their first substantive meeting today after having agreed on the methodology for continuing their negotiations on a deal reunifying Cyprus. Anastasiades said after the meeting that the negotiators of the two sides presented a document listing pending issues on the chapters already discussed, with a view of trying to achieve more convergences ahead of reconvening the Geneva conference in March. He said the conference will be reconvened after March the 13th. He also said that during today's discussions, relative progress was made on the governance issue, adding that there are many more needed to be done. Anastasiades said that in the negotiations, which will follow until the Geneva conference, a cross-discussion of issues will be held so as to achieve as many convergences as possible. Sources said that Anastasiades and Akinci will also hold brainstorming sessions on the issues of security and guarantees, which will be the subjects of discussion at the Geneva conference. Meanwhile, the government spokesman denied as inaccurate a claim by the Labour Party that President Anastasiades had accepted the continued presence of 25% of the Turkish army in Cyprus. The spokesman said that the president's position is set out in his proposals on security, which the Greek government has also accepted. Former Deputy Attorney General Ricos Rodogrido and his co-defendants were found guilty in what the court said was a unique and unprecedented case of conspiracy and corruption. The assize court sitting in Nicosia said in a reserved ruling that took its 3 judges 9 hours to read that Rodogrido was found guilty on all charges he faced involving receiving of bribes, abuse of power, conspiracy to defraud, and conspiracy to obstruct justice. His co-defendants, lawyers Andreas Kyprozoglou and Panagiotis Neogleos, as well as the law firm Andreas Neogleos LLC, were also found guilty of charges related to bribery of a public official and acts which suggest corruption. The court said that all charges have been proven beyond any reasonable doubt. The charges of which Rodogrido, Neogleos and the law firm were found guilty are punishable with prison sentences of up to 7 years, while Kyprozoglou could face a maximum sentence of 3 years. The court has set February the 17th to hear mitigation arguments before the court decides on the sentencing. Health Minister Yorgos Bambouridis has said that he has been threatened by people who are opposed to the introduction of a new general health system known as YESI. Bambouridis refused to name names, but he spoke of doctors who will lose their lucrative health operations. He also said a section of nurses is opposed to the new system because they believe they will lose what they consider vested rights as public servants. Bambouridis further said the insurance companies are placing obstacles after they were left out of the system. The minister said that the whole issue is up to Parliament and challenged parties to clearly state whether they support or oppose the proposed system during the debate on bills which have been pending before Parliament. British Prime Minister Theresa May won approval from Parliament's lower chamber last night to trigger Britain's exit from the European Union. The Parliament defeated attempts by pro-EU lawmakers to attach extra conditions to her plan to start divorce talks by March the 31st. Lawmakers voted 494 to 122 in favour of legislation giving May the right to trigger Brexit, ending days of intense debate. The bill now needs the approval of the upper chamber, in which May does not have a majority before it becomes law. The victory marks a significant step towards starting what is expected to be a complex and difficult 2-year negotiation with the EU on issues such as trade, immigration and security that will redraw Britain's role in the world. After surviving a minor rebellion from within May's Conservative Party that had threatened to undermine her authority and negotiating strategy, the law was passed without amendment and on schedule. The European People's Party, the largest group in the European Parliament, has come out against Turkey's accession to the European Union. In a document tabled in the European Parliament, EPP said it wants Turkey's accession negotiations to be terminated. It also said that only countries which belong geographically to Europe can join the European Union. EPP further said that Turkey and a group of other countries could become EU partners, but without any prospect of becoming full members. Over 70,000 residents of the Gordelio region in Thessaloniki, northern Greece, will be evacuated from their homes on Sunday as bomb experts will try to defuse a Second World War bomb. The bomb was found during digging for the installation of gas pipes at a petrol station. Experts said that it was an unexploded bomb which was dropped during air raids on the city. The city's public buses operators said they would mount a manger operation to move the residents from their homes for about 4 hours. Bomb disposal experts of the Greek army will try to remove the trigger of the bomb, which will then be transported through the city to a safe place for disposing by a controlled explosion. Transport Minister Marios Dimitriadis has said that there has been a big improvement at the containers terminal of Limassol port following the privatisation of operations at the port. Incompatible and slow software has resulted in long delays and congestion of container carriers at the port, which caused a strong reaction by both businessmen and container transporters. Dimitriadis said, however, that there is still a wide margin for further improvements in speeding up the whole process of containers. He added that paperwork must also be shortened in relation to loading and unloading ships, saying this must be done before the week is out. A British couple was seriously injured last night when their car collided with another vehicle driven by a drunk driver near Chloraga in Paphos. Police said that the second car was driven by a drunk man aged 45. The vehicle entered into the opposite lane and collided head-on with the car of the British couple, both aged 74. They were then taken to the Paphos hospital where doctors said they have serious but non-life-threatening injuries. The police also said that a breathalyzer test showed that the driver, who was not injured, had almost 4 times the allowed content of alcohol in his blood. Now for the weather forecast, partly cloudy and later cloudy weather will persist tomorrow with the possibility of rain or isolated showers. Winds will initially be light northeasterly to southeasterly, force 3, later turning to sea breezes, which at times will be light to moderate, force 3 to 4. Temperatures will reach 16 Celsius inland and in eastern coastal areas, 18 in all other coastal regions and 7 over the mountains. Cloudy weather will lead to local rain and isolated showers on Saturday. Clouds setting in late in the day on Monday and Tuesday may lead to more isolated rain. Temperatures will drop slightly on Sunday and more sharply on Monday. The depth of snow is 50 centimetres on Mount Olympus and 40 centimetres over the Troodos Square. That's all from us here. Join us tomorrow for more news in English. Have a very good evening.